Alright, next up is Sony, and the first thing that I wanted to talk about with them is the whole issue concerning the price drop, because I really thought, along with a lot of other people I'm sure, that they were going to announce some sort of a price drop, beyond like a bundle with a larger hard drive and all that. We don't care. A lot of people were anticipating and hoping for a price drop because there's, a lot of people out there are not buying a PS3 because of the price, and Sony really needs to drop the price on the PS3 to move units this holiday. If they don't drop the price this holiday, I think they're going to struggle, especially against, once again, the Wii. But the Wii is like in a whole nother realm. It's really not even competing with the PS3 and 360 anymore. But to compete with the 360, they need to drop the price, which they didn't. Now, the only thing I can imagine is that they're going to, do some sort of bundle later on where they drop the price and include a game, or maybe when God of War launches, they're going to do a bundle where they drop the price. I don't know. I really don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they're going to announce a price drop more around September, October, November time, after, they still have moved through some of their existing stock that they have now that they want to get rid of. Maybe, the rumored PlayStation Slim really is in the works, and they don't want to show that off now because really they're not going to be able to move their old units. So if they show off the new updated Slim for a lower price, why are people going to go out and buy the old one for $400? So I guess I can see their reasoning behind not doing a price drop if they do have a new model of the PS3 in the works, but really they need to do it. They need to get that thing out there soon if they want to sell some more units. But enough about that. The next thing that I want to talk about with them is the PSP Go, which, as they call it, is one of the worst kept secrets of E3 because it was leaked before E3 and it took away a lot of their surprise power. At first, they had some really good surprises, but my impressions on the PSP Go, too expensive. One, they're charging $250 for it, which I think is way too much. The best way to look at it is it's the price of a Wii. People honestly are not going to spend $250 on an updated version of a PSP, if you can even call it that, because it doesn't have the UMD drive, so they can't use their existing games on it. And, the improvements aren't drastic, in my opinion. There's no second analog nub, which I think is a total failure. They needed to add that in. They know people wanted it. The design choices, you can flip up the screen and everything, yeah. There's no touchscreen capabilities. Who cares if they're copying off of the DS? There's all devices out there now have touchscreens. In my opinion, they really haven't done much to advance the PSP beyond what it is now. It's just a step closer. I think it's their test project to see how well it's going to sell and how well they can, connect with the digital distribution market. It seems like their PlayStation Network is doing pretty well in terms of the downloadable games, and now this is their test to see if they can come out with hardware directed specifically towards digital downloads and see how well it sells. And the thing is, this thing is probably going to be really cheap for them to produce, and they're probably going to make a lot of money off of this thing. $250 is, wow. It's ridiculous in my opinion. Alright, so enough about nagging about that. Let's get on to the games that they actually showed off. And one game that I'm sure you all know that I know about, that I'm really excited about, and that's The Last Guardian. Now, I'm going to admit, a lot of my excitement was kind of killed off by the leaked trailer that showed up on YouTube, which looked amazing, by the way. The updated trailer that they showed at E3's press conference, it was updated. I could tell that the graphics were worked on. The character models look much better. They actually showed some really real gameplay. It looks really good. They didn't give a date on it, so it's definitely going to be a 2010 release, but I don't care. That's my most anticipated game right now, and I was happy with, the new gameplay footage that they added in. It looks really good. And for those of you that don't know what The Last Guardian is, it's the new Team Ico game, which is basically from the creators of Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. Which are among my favorite games ever, so definitely excited for The Last Guardian. Other good exclusives, Ratchet & Clank, A Crack in Time, which looks just as good as Tools of Destruction, Uncharted 2, which they're kind of billing as their system seller of 2009, which, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to sell systems for them, but it's definitely going to make people that own PlayStation 3s right now really happy, because it looks very good. If you saw the demo that they showed off, and, you don't own a PS3, it at least made you want to own a PS3 if you were in the shooters. And I tried out the beta, the online multiplayer beta. It plays like Gears of War meets SOCOM. It plays really well. One of the biggest surprises at E3 for me was the announcement of Final Fantasy XIV, which I didn't see coming whatsoever. I was like blown away that they announced Final Fantasy 14 so early, because we're just starting to see gameplay of Final Fantasy 13 now, and they build it as an exclusive. In terms of consoles, it's going to be on PC. They're building it as an exclusive for the PS3 right now, but they're in talks with bringing it out for the 360. So it's exclusive for now. And for those of you that didn't realize by the trailer, Final Fantasy 14 is going to be online, just like Final Fantasy 11, which I don't mind because I'm a fan of Final Fantasy 11. MAG, or Massive Action Game. Now, this, I think, could move systems if they pull it off. When I first heard of MAG, first-person shooter with 256 online players, I was like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, this year, I finally saw it, and they pulled it off. 256 live players online in a first-person shooter. There was no lag. Granted, they were spread out across the giant map, but it's they have it up and running, and if they can launch this game and not have any technical problems, with servers crashing and everything like that, I think that this will move systems. If they can market this right, get commercials out there, just get this game out there. Don't let it just sit in the corner, get it out there, make it as popular as the SOCOM series. I think this will sell consoles. And then there's Heavy Rain, which is really shaping up to be one of the best PS3 games in my opinion this year. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Story-driven adventure game by the creators of Indigo Prophecy. It borrows a lot of the same aspects, but from what they've showed so far, it looks really interactive, and wow, the voice acting and the motion capture and everything looks really great. It's not going to sell systems like they hope, but it does look like it's going to be a really great addition to the library. And then, of course, the game that all PlayStation fans are waiting for, God of War 3. The bad news is, though, it's coming out in 2010. It's not going to make it out this year. But they finally showed off some gameplay footage, and it looks amazing. The graphics look really, really good. It's like non-stop action. The demo they showed, they picked a really good part to show because, it had a lot of different monsters to fight. And it seems like, why fix something that's not broken? It's more of the same, but it looks like, hey, it's going to be a contender once again for a Game of the Year in 2010. And then, of course, there was Sony's biggest reveal, that they're also coming out with a motion sensing device. And what they showed at E3 was just a prototype. It was just the wand with the colorful ball on top, not the official product according to what they're saying. But in my opinion, it looks like it has more promise than Project Natal because of the fact that they actually have a device and it's tracking the motion of the device. It really looked like one-for-one synchronized with the guy's motions and the in-game motions. Like, they showed off tons of different tech demos, moving in 3D spaces, looking around in 3D spaces, like a strategy game. They had, bow shooting, they had a sword game, and then they went beyond. They put the guy in a game, in a 3D environment with weapons, and, he was putting together building blocks and everything. It blew me away how awesome this device really looked and how much promise it had. Yes, it looked like it was very early. It looked like they kind of rushed this out in the E3 to say, okay, look, we have motion detection too. But I have to admit, Nintendo got a big slap in the face when they unveiled this thing, because it's like a wand controller with motion controls that absolutely blow away, even with the Wii Motion Plus. It blows away what the Wii can do in terms of motion controls. Will this, compete against the Wii? Absolutely not. It's the Wii, like I said, is in a league of its own. It's got its own casual market that it's basically taken over. The casual, the hardcore, the new to gaming. It's taken over everybody. Alright, I'm starting to run out of time, so I just want to talk about a couple of the multi-platform games. The first of which, Modern Warfare 2. They finally showed off some gameplay footage, and it looks really good. I was really impressed with the snowmobile scene where you're kind of driving through the woods and everything. It kind of looked a little bit out of place in a Call of Duty game, but heck, it looked fun as hell, and I can't wait to see the gameplay of multiplayer finally. One game that kind of took me by surprise on how good it looked was Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which is going to be the new Castlevania game that's delving back into the 3D environments, but it looks like a God of War clone, but that's not really a bad thing considering how good God of War is. So if they can actually pull off a God of War clone in the Castlevania universe, I think it'll be really good. And the footage that they showed, the game, it looks to run really well. The graphics look amazing. Final Fantasy 13. Wow, the new gameplay and trailers that they've showed off have made me really, really want to get my hands on this game. The battles look amazing, and I'm just going to go out on a whim here. Best Final Fantasy battle theme ever, okay? It sounds really good, and RPG fans know you got to have good battle music when you're doing a lot of fighting. But it looks like it's shaping up really, really well. Not coming out this year, though. Supposedly going to come out next year, and I can't wait for that. Alien vs. Predator, that's another game that's kind of under the radar. But from what I've seen, it looks really fun, and multiplayer, being able to play as the aliens, Predator, and Marines, seems like it could be a really good multiplayer game. And of course, Brutal Legend, another game I can't wait to get my hands on. It looks hilarious, and hopefully this game finally comes out, because supposedly EA is getting sued now or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully Brutal Legend just comes out, because it looks to be... I know it's probably not going to sell well, even though EA's got the helm of the marketing and everything, but I just want to play that game.